Let's take a seat.
Thank you for welcoming me here. It's my first time here in this conference.
Oh, wow, wow. We're really glad to have you.
Thank you.
And I am really glad to make this interview because I'm sure you're going to share with us some very interesting perspectives on advanced TV. So let's start this conversation with the basics. What's the definition of TV for you?
So TV, it's a great question because TV is evolving so much and over the past 10 years. And when I got my job as international sales house of RTL Group, we redefined what TV was meaning back in the days. Well, it's already 10 years ago. And thinking about it, maybe I should have registered the trademark because TV is total video for us from the very beginning. 10 years ago, it was about TV. Why total video? Because we think that our viewership is not only on the big screen, it's also on other screens. So this Atawad, anytime, anywhere, was the reality. Now, we think in our group, and we've been thinking in our group for quite a long time now, that there's a convergence between linear and non-linear.
Yeah.
We believe in a few years from now, whether it's 3 to 5 years, everything will be ad-served, and we need to be ready for that big transformation of the TV industry. So we believe TV is a combination of big scale, one-to-many linear TV and one-to-one capabilities, targeting capabilities of digital. This is what we believe in.
All right. It's very clear that in the last few years there's been a rapid growth of connected TV.
Yes.
How would you describe the current market situation?
Well, it's very dynamic. It is clear that connected TV is a part of our lives as Europeans, especially the device. I think we have a penetration rate approximately of about 70% now in our households. But from a consumption perspective, it's pretty different. So we see that, and we have an international study that we run at RTL ADALLIANCE for the 4th time, I think now, or 5th time. We call it the new life of the living room. We ask the people what do they do on their TV screen across 13 markets in Europe. And basically, they're doing many, many things. So the first thing they do is they watch TV as a linear device. That's one of the first things. And then we ask them, okay, what do you do? What do you consider is TV? And we saw that, for instance, when they're watching small UGC short-form content, they believe this is not TV. On the other side, they believe that when they watch a show on another screen, they believe this is TV. So we need to take that into consideration. And so going back to your question on CTV, what's the status? Well, we see this very much evolving. We saw the investments across Europe. They're booming, double-digit, triple digits.
Yeah.
What we see, though, is pure PVOD is coming to a certain threshold. It's not evolving very much. And everyone now is moving into the advertising-funded VOD. From the broadcasters moving into streaming with AVOD proposition or BVOD proposition, but also some other streaming companies like Netflix. We saw it earlier on with these 2 people, the lady in charge of Italy and the advertiser from KFC, moving into an advertising-funded version of Netflix. And this is the very important at the moment. And we see double-digit growth in that perspective or specific area in Europe, across Europe.
So let's stay on the advertising perspective. Now that the device has become a commodity, the value shifts to content and audiences, right? How does this translate into your offering to brands?
Well, I think, yes, indeed, there's somehow a commodity, and CTV is definitely picking up in Europe as well, very much advanced in the US. A bit less advanced in Europe, but still. What I want to say here is from a I'm sorry. Lost my
Yeah,
point
no,
here.
don't worry.
I'm sorry.
How this, so the value shift to
So
content.
sorry, the value chain is the fragmentation. So in Europe, we have a specific, let's say, status. We are not the US. We are not the United States of Europe. And in this industry, there is a little bit of a tendency of everyone, and especially the big GAFA player, the global giants, to see a little bit the industry as if it was one big country. It is not the case in Europe. We have multiple countries, multiple languages, multiple way of consuming media, and we have our very specificities. So we need to make sure that we are simplifying the access to our inventory for the clients and for the agencies. And this is what we are trying to do at RTL ADALLIANCE, connecting those local champions in order to make an offer at global level.
So you mentioned simplifying the ecosystem, so simplicity. And actually simplicity is something that advertisers are increasingly demanding. What tools or solution are you developing to answer this need?
I think, first of all, when you're fighting against global players and you need to stand out as European media owners, you need to have different things. You need to have scale. This is what we're trying to do, connecting the local champions into a pan-European offer. That's scale and reach. On the other side, what do they have? On the other side, they have simplified access and they have standard products. So on simplicity at RTL ADALLIANCE, what we have been able is to connect our local partners and create a video marketplace, which is available now in digital. We talk about digital video in a programmatic way, in an hour-based way, but we can access 15 countries differently through one single video marketplace. That's the product. On the other side, you need to have, let's say, a standardized product across Europe. So we have developed, for instance, what we call media collections. It's like packages in TV terms. We are packaging audiences across multiple countries within one country in order not to sell just brands, but also to be able to sell, like digital giants are doing, audience-based. And that's a new way, I would say, of selling our media. The second is you need to have data. Data is super important. We heard it in the previous discussions. So we have built a product called Smart Audiences, which is basically an additional layer on top of the local data sets that we have within our partners. And we try to combine and to have some kind of a universal layer, understandable layer across Europe. So if you want to reach sports fans or women that are really fond of sports across multiple countries in Europe, you can do that using our product, Smart Audiences. And then lastly, I think you need to give different ways of accessing our inventory. We can access our inventory in a direct way, you call us. You can access our inventory in digital through a DSP. And now on, since a few months, we launched what we call the RTL Ad Manager. It's our own product. It's a self-service buying tool where people and clients, agencies from around the world can connect to and access our inventory in Europe.
So very rich offering, I guess.
Yes.
Now let's shift the focus on content. Many people talk about premium content.
Yes.
But how does premium content mean nowadays, in your opinion? And how can audience trust be an advantage for advertisers?
So first of all, it's premium content. It really differs from you, me, my kids, and everything could be premium.
Yeah.
Professional content is premium, but maybe sometimes user-generated content could be premium. So it's a different, I will not comment on my personal taste. This could be seen as premium content, but I think premium content comes with brand safety as well. So what we consider is brand safe and premium content at RTL is, first of all, it's long form, it's professionally produced content, it's audited by a third party, not by our own statistics or algorithm. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And far and foremost, it's part of a different types of genre of content, because you can have news content, fiction content, sports life content, series content, film content. And I think it's part of a global ecosystem. So this is what we believe in. And again, in our piece of research that we conduct at RTL ADALLIANCE, this New Life of the Living Room piece of research, we observed, it's not us saying it, it's really the consumers across Europe, when you put your brand next to a brand-safe premium content on TV, on BVOD, also on traditional media, the level of trust to the brand is way higher, beyond 60%. If you put your brand next to YouTube or social media, it goes really, really lower, lower than 40% in terms of brand trust. So I think, and again, this is not us saying it, it's really the people across Europe that are really saying it.
Somebody said that advertising supports independent news and therefore democracy. What do you think? And if so, what's RTL ADALLIANCE's role in this virtuous cycle?
Well, I think it's beyond RTL ADALLIANCE. It's really regarding RTL Group. You know, RTL ADALLIANCE, we are specialized in advertising, but obviously it's an ecosystem. It fuels each other. And from a very long time, I think we've been advocating the fact that we need to invest in strong content. In order to invest in strong content, we need brands putting their money in on our media, obviously, because we are not just a pipe redistributing content. We really invest in content.
Okay.
It could be live content, sports content, and the sports rights are getting more expensive. It could be news content. And I think, again, here, we're talking about a freedom. It's a little bit of a society obligation that we have, in my view, in this industry, to support free, independent news and journalism. You know, and this we can only do if we are able to fuel the wheel and to fuel the advertising wheel. So we need your investment to invest in strong content, but we also need to invest in strong journalists, and we need to keep them safe from what is happening around, you know, from the pressure, from the fake news, etc. And this can only be done if this virtuous circle is running in a seamless way. Yes.
Totally agree. So now I guess you're going to show us a video.
Yes.
Chiedo alla regia di mandare questo video, per favore.
Yeah, it's a little video on...
In a world overwhelmed by voices,
Deeply inhumane.
the truth gets harder to find.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Who do you trust as a brand? Real journalism cuts through the noise. RTL ADALLIANCE unites iconic media brands. The right place for a brand-safe media environment. Our DNA is storytelling. Stories that matter. A safeguard for democracy. Brands shape the world they advertise in. Support verified media. Choose impact that matters. Choose verified media. Trusted by people, supported by brands.
So,
Wonderful.
if I make comments
Yeah.
Just 1 minute on this. I think it's really our duty as traditional media owners to really support these type of messages, because it transcends a little bit what we do. It gives a little bit of sense of purpose in what we do on a daily basis, also in advertising. This is not just about impressions and outcome and deliveries and return on sales. It's more than that. And I think we need to say it out loud a little bit more than we do today.
Absolutely agree. So let's close this interview with, by touching one last topic, which is competition with global giants.
Yes.
This show requires critical mass, right? So how does RTL ADALLIANCE promote collaboration among European media players?
So I think you're fully right, and I said it. I think in our fragmented market, with local champions, and we have some of them here, it's really difficult to compete with global giants. It's really difficult because they have the ability to speak as one voice across multiple countries, etc. We, on the other side, we don't. We are very strong in Italy, very strong in Germany, very strong in France. But how do you stand out? How do you get together in order to speak the same language and also to talk to clients that are more and more, outside of our local countries? We need to get in touch with the CMOs of the brands that advertise on the media, and not just having a discussion with the local agency. So we need to tackle these things. And the way forward, in my view, is really consolidation and integration. There are different types of collaboration that we can see in Europe. I think you had the people from Mediaset this morning. They're definitely MFE consolidating their media acquisition now with Germany. So they work in Italy, in Spain, in Germany. I think they're looking at some other operations in Portugal. So this is a form of consolidation. Yep. Within our group, we have we are on the verge of integrating with Sky Media and Sky in Germany, together with RTL and Sky, and the objective is to become one of the biggest champion in D2C streaming offering in Germany. From an RTL ADALLIANCE perspective, we've been working with many partners in the different markets in Europe, and 2 weeks ago we announced something that was even unthinkable, like 2-3 years ago. In France, we're going to represent not only M6, which is part of RTL, but we will represent internationally France Télévisions, the public broadcaster. Sure. And why do we do that? Because we believe we need to sell in the future. We need to fight at eye-to-eye level. So in order to sell the French consumers to our brands, we need to have more scale. And this is what we're currently doing. I was thinking today announcing a couple of others, but we're not ready yet. The ink is not yet dried, but we will. And we will announce additional collaboration in the future in Europe, because I think, let's say the opponents and the competitors from the last 30 years should maybe the best partners for the next 30 years, especially in our industry. We need to team up in order to have a voice. Yeah. I just remember and remind every day, every dollar that goes into the advertising business, 75% on average worldwide is going to just global players. And the rest, small rest, is going to traditional local players. Yeah. We need to change that fate. All right, Stéphane, thanks a lot for the precious insights you shared with us. I hope you will stay with us for the aperitivo later. I will try, yes. Okay. Why not? Okay. Un applauso, Stéphane Coruble.